Beloved, listen with all your heart, because what I am about to share with you is not ordinary. This is not the kind of message you hear and forget. This is a message that shakes the spirit, pierces the heart, and demands a response. A time is coming, after September 30, 2025, when the world will not remain the same. The days ahead will test the strength of those who call themselves believers, and the hand of God will move in ways that cannot be ignored. The question is not whether change will come. The question is whether you will be prepared when it does. For too long, many have lived their faith casually, treating the gift of God lightly, as if it is a decoration instead of a destiny. But hear this: God does not call His people into mediocrity. He calls them into fire, into discipline, into devotion. And when He marks a season on the calendar of history, it is because He is ready to reveal His power, to separate the faithful from the faithless, to lift up those who trust Him, and expose those who only spoke His name without truly walking with Him. After September 30, 2025, the world will be shaken, but those who stand rooted in God will discover a strength, a peace, and a divine covering that no force of darkness can break. Do not misunderstand me. This is not a message of fear. It is a message of preparation. God is not warning His people so they tremble. He is preparing His people so they stand. He is not calling you to hide. He is calling you to rise. And those who rise will see wonders. Those who remain half-hearted, those who play with sin, those who bow to the spirit of laziness and compromise, they will see the emptiness of their choices. God cannot be mocked. The seeds you plant now are the harvest you will reap when the world enters the new season ahead. After September 30th, 2025, the masks will be torn off. The hidden will be revealed. Those who claimed faith only with words, but denied it in their actions, will stand exposed. But those who have kept their hearts pure, those who prayed when no one was watching, those who disciplined their lives to honor God, they will shine like lights in the darkness. People will look at them and ask, "How are you still standing when everything is shaking?" And the answer will not be found in human strength, but in the shelter of God. Mark this clearly: the days ahead will not be easy. There will be confusion, there will be struggle, there will be storms, but do not let that shake you. Because storms are not meant to destroy the faithful. They are meant to reveal their foundation. When the winds blow, when the waters rise, it will be clear who built their life on the solid rock of faith in God, and who built their life on the sand of comfort and compromise. After September 30, 2025, the difference between these two will no longer be hidden. It will be visible to all. This is why I cry out to you now with urgency. Do not wait until that day to prepare. Do not say, "I will change tomorrow." Do not say, "I will get serious later." Later will be too late. The time to prepare is now. The time to draw near to God is now. The time to discipline your spirit, to rise in prayer, to kill the laziness that chains your destiny. It is now. Because when that day comes, there will be no time to build what you neglected. You will either stand ready or you will fall unprepared. But here is the promise: those who choose God now, those who surrender their whole heart, will walk in a covering so strong that no power of darkness can touch them. When others are afraid, you will walk in peace. When others are lost, you will walk in clarity. When others are broken, you will walk in strength. God Himself will be your shield. He will guide your steps. He will make a way in the wilderness and streams in the desert. His hand will not leave you. His eyes will not ignore you. His presence will not abandon you. But that promise is not for the careless. It is for the faithful. Understand this deeply. After September 30, 2025, God will call His people into greater responsibility. This is not the time for passive faith. This is not the time for empty words. This is the time for action. God will separate the ones who say they believe from the ones who live as if they believe. And the call upon your life will grow heavier. But do not fear that weight, because with every burden God places, He also provides the strength to carry it. With every assignment He gives, He also pours out the grace to fulfill it. You are not being called to stand in your own power. You are being called to stand in His. The days ahead will expose where your trust lies. If your trust is in money, you will be shaken when money fails. If your trust is in people, you will be broken when people disappoint. If your trust is in comfort, you will collapse when comfort disappears. But if your trust is in God, then nothing, no storm, no loss, no fear will move you. Because God is unshakable, and those who stand in Him will remain unshakable. So I ask you, what kind of life will you live when this season arrives? Will you be among the fearful, running and hiding, or will you be among the faithful, rising and shining? Will you be the one who regrets the time wasted, or will you be the one who rejoices in the preparation you made? The decision is yours today. The warning has been given. The time has been marked. And the Spirit of God is calling you to rise. Now, more than ever, you must discipline yourself. Cut away the distractions that weaken your focus. Silence the voices that keep you from obeying God. Rise earlier, pray longer, work harder, love deeper. Stop living as if tomorrow is guaranteed, because it is not. Live every day as if God Himself were watching, because He is. And live in such a way that when the shaking comes, you will not tremble, but stand tall as a warrior of faith. After September 30th, 2025, the world will witness that those who trust in God cannot be shaken. They will see that while nations rise and fall, while systems collapse, while fear spreads like fire, there is a remnant who walk with confidence, who live with peace, who shine with unexplainable light. That remnant can be you, but only if you prepare now. So rise, beloved. Rise in strength. Rise in courage. Rise in faith. Do not fear what is coming. Instead, let it awaken you. Let it drive you deeper into God's presence. Let it purify your heart, sharpen your focus, and ignite your spirit. Because the future does not belong to the lazy, the distracted, or the half-hearted. The future belongs to those who walk with God without compromise. And when the day comes, when the world shakes and hearts fail, you will not be afraid. You will stand as a testimony of God's power, a living witness of His faithfulness, a beacon of light in the darkness. And people will look at you and know there is a God, and those who trust Him will never be put to shame. Listen with the deepest attention of your soul. Because what I am declaring to you now is not merely a warning. It is a divine invitation. When God marks a time in history, it is not so that his people will be consumed by fear, but so that they may rise with clarity. After September 30, 2025, the veil will be thinner. Those who walk in the light of God will feel his presence more clearly. But those who live in compromise will feel the weight of emptiness pressing down on them. It will be as if God himself is asking each person, who truly belongs to me? Do you understand how urgent this is? We live in a generation distracted by comfort, overwhelmed by noise, and seduced by pleasure. Laziness has taken root in the hearts of many, not only laziness of the body, but laziness of the spirit. People no longer wrestle in prayer. They no longer fight against temptation. They no longer discipline themselves to listen to God. And because of that, when the shaking begins, they will have no anchor. Their hearts will be tossed about like ships without sails. But those who train themselves now, those who anchor their souls in God now, will not be moved. They will hear his whisper even in the storm. Mark my words, the test that comes will not be about wealth or status. It will not be about titles or appearance. It will be about the condition of your heart. God will search to see who truly trusted him, who lived for him, who obeyed him even when it was costly. And those who have lived in obedience will discover a covering that nothing in this world can compare to. Even if the earth shakes, they will feel peace. Even if nations tremble, they will walk in confidence, because God himself will be their shield. But let me tell you this truth, preparation for that day is not about panic. It is about positioning. You must position your life under the authority of God. You must break free from the chains of sin that weigh you down. You must let go of the bitterness, the anger, the envy, the addictions. Do not carry them into the season ahead, because they will crush you when the pressure rises. Purify your heart now. Train your spirit now. Live as if God's eyes are on you every second, because they are. He sees the secret places. He hears the thoughts you hide. And when the testing comes, only those who have walked with integrity will endure. After September 30th, 2025, many will seek peace in the wrong places. They will look for answers in governments, in leaders, in systems, in their wealth. And when those things fail, despair will consume them. But those who have placed their trust in God will not run in circles looking for peace. They will already have it flowing from within, because peace is not found in the world. It is given by God to those who walk with him. That is why now, more than ever, you must deepen your trust. Stop leaning on things that can be shaken. Anchor yourself in the one who cannot be moved. Do you see what God is doing? He is not abandoning his people. He is refining them. He is preparing a remnant, a people who are strong, courageous, and unshakable. He is calling you to be part of that remnant. But you cannot walk into this season half asleep. You cannot drag your laziness, your compromises, your excuses into the future. If you do, they will destroy you. You must decide today, I will rise. I will discipline myself. I will give God my whole heart. Only then will you stand when others fall. Let me reveal to you another truth. After September 30, 2025, God will elevate those who have been hidden. Many who were unknown, who prayed in silence, who served quietly without recognition, they will be lifted. People will look and wonder, where did this strength come from? Where did this wisdom come from? Where did this authority come from? And the answer will be simple: it came from God. The world will see that true authority is not given by man, but by God. And He gives it to those who humble themselves before Him. At the same time, those who lived only for appearances, those who built their reputation but neglected their character, will be exposed. Their emptiness will be made clear. Their weakness will be revealed. And they will have no covering because they trusted in themselves and not in God. This is why I tell you, do not waste your energy polishing the outside while neglecting the inside. Do not spend your life impressing people while ignoring the one who sees your soul. After September 30, 2025, such a life will collapse under its own weight. Beloved, do not think this message is only about judgment. It is also about promise. For God has declared that those who endure, those who remain faithful, will walk into a season of multiplied blessing. Their prayers will be answered swiftly. Their steps will be guided clearly. Their lives will carry an anointing that others cannot explain. Even in a time of shaking, they will be fruitful. Even in a time of lack, they will overflow. Because the God who called them is faithful to sustain them. So what must you do? You must awaken your spirit. You must make prayer your weapon, discipline your lifestyle, and surrender your plans to God. You must rise each day with a warrior's mindset, declaring, I will not waste this day. I will not bow to laziness. I will not live in fear. I will honor God with every breath. When you live like this, you are not just preparing for a date. You are preparing for eternity. You are shaping your soul for the kingdom that cannot be shaken. Hear me. After September 30, 2025, many will wish they had taken this call seriously. They will wish they had prayed more, worked harder, lived holier. Do not be among them. Let your life now be a life of no regrets. Use your time wisely. Love deeply. Forgive quickly. Give generously. And walk every step with the awareness that God is with you. God is watching you. And God is calling you higher. This is your moment. This is your warning. This is your invitation. Do not delay. Rise now, and you will not fear the shaking that is to come. Instead, you will walk into it with confidence, knowing that the hand of God is upon you and nothing, absolutely nothing, can separate you from His covering. My beloved brothers and sisters, as we stand at the edge of time, let me remind you with fire in my heart, God has already written your destiny, and no man, no system, no storm of life can erase what God has ordained. The world may shake, powers may rise and fall, voices of doubt may roar, but if God is for you, no one can stand against you. You are not created to live in fear. You are not called to live in despair. You were chosen to shine as a light in the darkness, to walk in strength, and to finish your race with glory. Do not allow the weight of uncertainty to bend your shoulders. Lift your head high and declare within your heart, God is my fortress, my strength, my guide, my shield. This is not a time to be lukewarm in your faith. This is not a time to sit quietly while the world pulls your heart away. This is the time to rise with boldness, to stand firm, to say, I will not be moved, because I know the one who holds tomorrow in his hand. You are not abandoned. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. God has carved your name in the palm of his hand, and he watches over you day and night. So, I ask you, will you live these coming days in fear, or will you live them in faith? Will you tremble at the shadows of men, or will you rise with courage, knowing that the eternal God surrounds you? Choose faith. My friends, choose courage. Choose to align your life with the voice of God that calls you higher, deeper, stronger. Let the fire of devotion consume your laziness, your doubt, your hesitation. Stand as one who knows the truth, that even if the world collapses, God remains unshaken, and those who trust him remain unshaken too. Take this moment as your turning point. Surrender your distractions, cast away your secret fears, and step into the future with unwavering confidence. Live every single day with the awareness that your breath, your strength, and your opportunities come from God. Do not waste them. Do not bury your gifts in the ground of fear. Do not let the whispers of hopelessness silence your purpose. Arise and walk boldly, because the world needs your light, and God has already promised to be with you. Let your heart burn with determination. Let your soul echo with courage. Let your life testify that God is alive, faithful, and mighty to carry you through. And as you leave this moment, make this decision. You will not bow to fear. You will not surrender to doubt. And you will not live small. You will rise with the power of faith. You will shine with the strength of conviction. And you will finish your journey knowing you gave your all. God has already gone before you, and he will never leave you. Walk boldly into your tomorrow, for your future is secure in him. Do you know what the enemy is using in this generation to blind the eyes of millions? It is not always war. It is not always poverty. It is not always sickness. It is something so subtle, so sweet to the ears, yet poisonous to the soul. It is a melody. A melody that sounds harmless, a melody that feels innocent, a melody wrapped in beauty, but hiding corruption. It is music that carries the fingerprints of Satan, and millions of Christians are deceived by it. They think it is just entertainment. They think it is just rhythm and sound. But behind that rhythm is a spiritual power, a melody that shapes your mind, dulls your spirit, and separates you from the voice of God. You see, music was never neutral. Music is a force. It was created by God to lift the soul toward him, to awaken the heart to worship, to align our spirit with his presence. But what God creates for good, Satan twists for destruction. If you doubt this, just look around. Notice how entire cultures are shaped by songs. Notice how movements rise on the back of rhythms. Notice how even your own mood, your own thoughts, your own desires can change within minutes of listening to a single melody. This is not coincidence. Music carries spirit. And in this generation, Satan has dressed his poison in rhythm, and millions are dancing to it without realizing they are dancing away from God. When you let this melody into your life, you are not just listening with your ears, you are opening a door into your spirit. Do you not understand? Sound penetrates deeper than words. A lyric can bypass your reasoning and sink straight into your subconscious. A beat can stir desires in you that were sleeping, awaken, lust that was buried, trigger anger that was controlled, or dull your hunger for the things of God. This is why the enemy loves music, because it carries influence without resistance. People defend it, excuse it, justify it, and yet it is the very chain keeping them bound. And here lies the great deception. Millions of Christians think they can consume this melody without consequence. They say, it's only a song. It's only music. It doesn't affect me. But I tell you the truth. What you consume consumes you. What you feed on, you become. You cannot pour filth into your ears and expect purity in your soul. You cannot feed on violence, lust, greed, and rebellion through melodies, and then wonder why your heart feels heavy and your spirit feels distant from God. Do you not see? The enemy is programming you without your permission, shaping your desires, shifting your values, and slowly desensitizing your spirit until sin no longer looks dangerous, but normal. God gave you 24 hours each day. Hours meant to be filled with His Word, with prayer, with building your destiny, with serving others, with glorifying His name. Yet how many hours are wasted on melodies that glorify everything God despises? Songs that exalt rebellion, songs that worship lust, songs that praise greed, songs that glorify darkness. And you think you can drink this poison daily and still remain spiritually alive? My friend, you are deceiving yourself. The melody of Satan is not entertainment. It is warfare. It is his most powerful weapon to seduce your soul while you smile and sing along. Look closely at what the world calls music today. Notice how the lyrics are filled with rebellion against authority, rebellion against purity, rebellion against God. Notice how the beats are designed not to uplift your spirit, but to seduce your flesh. Notice how the culture surrounding this music promotes immorality, addiction, violence, vanity, and emptiness. Do you think this is an accident? No, this is design. This is a carefully crafted strategy by Satan himself to turn the hearts of men and women away from God. And the tragedy is that millions of Christians, men and women who claim to love God, are filling their minds, their cars, their homes, and their children's ears with the very poison that will destroy them. Let me tell you something. You must never forget, whatever you allow to enter your ears will eventually shape your soul. That is why God wants us to guard our hearts diligently, for out of them flow the issues of life. If your ears are gates, then music is the army that marches through those gates daily. If the melody you feed on glorifies darkness, do not be surprised when darkness begins to grow in you. If the songs you play exalt lust, do not be shocked when lust begins to burn uncontrollably inside you. If the rhythms you love exalt violence, do not wonder why peace escapes you. And if the voices you follow glorify pride, vanity, and rebellion, do not be surprised when humility and obedience to God feel impossible. The melody of Satan is not always obvious. Sometimes it is bold, filled with explicit rebellion and sin. But often it is subtle, hidden in charm, wrapped in beauty, disguised as art. It comes in gentle lyrics that seem harmless, but slowly shift your loyalty away from God. It comes in beats that seem catchy, but slowly numb your hunger for prayer. It comes in entertainment that seems innocent, but slowly makes sin appear normal. That is the danger of this melody. It does not shout, it whispers. And millions of Christians are lulled to sleep by its whispers, unaware that their spirit is dying while their lips are singing. But I ask you, who will you allow to shape your soul? God or Satan? Whose melody will fill your heart? For there are only two kinds of music in this world. The kind that lifts you closer to God, and the kind that pulls you deeper into darkness. There is no neutral ground. Every song you play, every beat you dance to, every lyric you repeat is either sharpening your spirit or dulling it. It is either opening your heart to God or hardening it against Him. You cannot serve two masters. You cannot sing the songs of rebellion and claim the heart of purity. You cannot drink from the cup of God and the cup of Satan and expect your spirit to remain alive. That is why I cry out with urgency, guard your ears, guard your heart, guard your soul. Do not fall into the trap that millions have fallen into. Do not laugh and call it harmless when God calls it dangerous. Do not excuse what God condemns. You must be bold enough to cut off what is poisoning you, even if the world calls it art, even if your friends call it fun, even if your flesh craves it. Because your destiny is greater than a song. Your calling is higher than a beat. Your soul is worth more than a moment of entertainment. And let me tell you this truth with fire in my heart. The melody you follow today will decide the path of your tomorrow. If you let the melodies of Satan rule your ears, your future will be filled with compromise, confusion, and spiritual death. But if you discipline yourself to fill your ears with the sounds that honor God, if you fill your home with words of life, if you train your heart to sing what uplifts your spirit, then you will find strength, clarity, peace, and power. Because God blesses those who refuse to be deceived. So do not underestimate this. Do not laugh it off. Do not be casual about it. The melody of Satan is not just sound, it is a weapon. And millions of Christians are being slaughtered by it, not because it looks dangerous, but because it looks harmless. And this is the greatest deception of ours, that something that feels so good could be so deadly. Do you realize that one of the greatest tragedies of our time is not that Christians are under attack, but that they are willingly lowering their guard, opening their doors, and inviting the enemy into their hearts through the very melodies they consume. The enemy no longer needs to knock at the front gate, for millions have already handed him the keys through their playlists. They worship God with their lips on Sunday, but throughout the week, their minds and hearts are saturated with rhythms that glorify sin. And they wonder why their prayers feel dry, why their faith feels weak, and why their passion for God seems to fade. It is because the fire of God cannot burn in a soul filled with the smoke of corruption. The melody of Satan is not just noise, it is a sermon. Do you understand this? Every song is a sermon preached to your subconscious, repeated over and over until it becomes your belief, your culture, your lifestyle. While the preacher of God speaks once or twice a week, the preacher of Satan sings into your ears for hours every single day. Which voice do you think will have the greater influence? Which voice do you think will shape your desires, your thoughts, your identity? This is why the enemy pours his energy into melodies, because he knows what many of God's people have forgotten. Repetition is power. What you repeat becomes who you are. And look at how clever he is. He packages rebellion in rhythms so sweet that even the righteous begin to hum along. He wraps corruption in poetry so eloquent that even the pure begin to admire it. He clothes lust in beauty so deceptive that even the strong begin to justify it. And without realizing it, the child of God, who once lived in purity and holiness, begins to compromise little by little until their very soul is aligned with darkness, while their lips still claim to follow God. But you must awaken. You must open your eyes. Do not think that because the melody makes you smile, it is safe. Poison does not stop being poison because it tastes sweet. A trap does not stop being a trap because it looks beautiful. And Satan does not stop being Satan because he comes with a guitar instead of a serpent. His goal has not changed since the beginning: to separate man from God, to lead the soul away from light and into darkness, to drown the voice of truth in the noise of deception. And today, his weapon is melody. Ask yourself this: why is it that the songs of this world spread faster than the word of God? Why is it that entire generations can memorize every lyric of corruption, but cannot remember the words of prayer? Why is it that children can dance to every beat of rebellion, but struggle to kneel before God? Because the enemy has mastered the art of seduction. He knows that if he can control the melody, he can control the mind. If he can control the rhythm, he can control the heart. And if he can control the heart, he can lead the soul away from God. Beloved, you must understand that God created you for greatness, for holiness, for a destiny beyond the shallow pleasures of this world. Your spirit was designed to resonate with his voice. Your heart was designed to respond to his truth. Your soul was designed to hunger for his presence. But when you fill yourself with melodies that glorify sin, you are tuning your soul to a frequency that is not of God. You are aligning yourself with the enemy's voice. And soon, the things of God will no longer move you. Prayer will feel boring. Worship will feel heavy. Righteousness will feel restrictive. Not because God has lost his power, but because your heart has been dulled by melodies that glorify everything he despises. Do not deceive yourself by thinking you can separate the rhythm from the spirit. Every melody carries a spirit. There is no neutral ground. Music is a vehicle, and every song carries you somewhere, either toward God or away from him. Ask yourself, where are the songs you love carrying you? Are they lifting you toward purity, discipline, humility, and the fear of God? Or are they dragging you toward pride, lust, rebellion, and spiritual emptiness? The answer is clear, and it is time to stop pretending otherwise. This is why I tell you with urgency, do not be casual about what you allow into your ears. If you value your soul, you must value your gates. Just as you would not allow poison into your food, do not allow corruption into your hearing. Just as you would not open your door to a thief, do not open your ears to melodies that rob you of holiness. For once the melody enters, it does not leave easily. It lingers, it repeats, it plants seeds. And those seeds grow into habits, And those habits grow into chains. And this is why so many are bound. They pray but feel no breakthrough. They worship but feel no fire. They desire God but cannot escape temptation because the chains around them are forged not by visible sin, but by invisible melodies. And until those chains are broken, they will never walk in the full power God has destined for them. My friend, God has given you the authority to decide which voice you will allow to shape you. You are not a slave to culture. You are not a puppet of the industry. You are not a victim of the enemy's melody unless you choose to be. You can cut it off. You can silence it. You can cleanse your ears and fill your heart with what uplifts your spirit. You can take back your soul from the deception that millions have fallen into. But here is the question, will you? Will you dare to be different? Will you dare to turn off what the world celebrates and fill your life with what God blesses? Will you have the courage to reject what entertains your flesh but destroys your spirit? Will you be among the few who rise above the crowd and live in the purity God requires? Or will you continue to dance to the melody of Satan, smiling outwardly while dying inwardly? This is the hour of decision. You cannot remain neutral any longer. Every song you play, every melody you consume is either aligning you with God or with the enemy. And the destiny of your soul depends on which voice you choose to follow. Let us go deeper with the fire of truth burning brighter. Because this is not a light matter. This is the war for the soul, and we cannot treat it with soft words. Look around you and see how deeply this melody has invaded the sacred spaces of life. Families that once gathered to pray now gather around screens, blaring rhythms that celebrate lust, greed, and pride. Children who once sang songs of innocence now repeat lyrics that glorify rebellion. Entire households that were meant to echo with the voice of God now vibrate with sounds that glorify sin. And the people ask, why does my home feel heavy? Why does my spirit feel restless? Why do I feel far from God? My friend, the answer is simple. You have invited another spirit into your home through the songs you allow. Music is not entertainment alone. It is a spiritual transaction. Every note, every beat, every lyric either builds an altar for God or builds an altar for the enemy. That is why the enemy does not fight you only with weapons of violence. He fights you with songs because he knows that when the melody changes, the atmosphere changes. And when the atmosphere changes, the heart begins to shift. If the song you play creates an atmosphere where sin feels comfortable, then you have welcomed a guest who will not leave easily. And let me say this with clarity, even worship is not safe when it is corrupted by the same melody. Do not be deceived by the label Christian or spiritual slapped onto a song. If its spirit is borrowed from the world, if its rhythm imitates the same beats that glorify sin, then it carries confusion. This is why so many feel stirred emotionally in worship, but walk away unchanged spiritually. They confuse excitement with holiness, noise with anointing, rhythm with presence. God does not dwell in what entertains the flesh. He dwells where the heart is bowed in reverence, purity, and truth. You must understand that Satan is not afraid of you singing about God if your heart is already enslaved to his melody. He does not tremble. He does not tremble because you utter holy words with your lips while your soul is still tuned to his rhythm. He knows that a divided heart cannot stand. That is why the greatest deception is not in the obvious rebellion, but in the subtle compromise, when songs that should glorify God are infused with the very spirit that glorifies the enemy. Beloved, do not play with fire. If the melody you sing does not lead you to holiness, to obedience, to the fear of God, then it is not drawing you closer to Him. It is pulling you away. And if it pulls you away, it is dangerous, no matter how sweet it sounds, no matter how beautiful the voice, no matter how inspiring the rhythm, for the measure of a song is not how it makes your flesh feel, but what it does to your spirit before God. Now I must speak to the parents, for this is urgent. What are you allowing into the ears of your children? Do not be deceived into thinking they are too young to understand. The enemy does not need their understanding. He only needs their repetition. A child does not need to grasp the full meaning of lyrics to be shaped by them. What they repeat becomes their culture. What they hum becomes their comfort, and soon the very things you prayed they would avoid are planted deep in their hearts. Parents, do not cry later about rebellion. If today you are allowing rebellion to enter through their headphones, do not plead with God to save their purity if you have already surrendered their gates to the enemy. Guard their ears, guard their hearts, and fill your home with the kind of melody that aligns them with God's presence. And let me say this, what you tolerate will one day dominate. If you tolerate ungodly music in your personal life, it will dominate your thoughts. If you tolerate it in your home, it will dominate your children. If you tolerate it in your worship, it will dominate your faith community. That is why God calls for separation, for holiness, for courage to say no when the world shouts yes. For you cannot conquer what you are still entertaining. But here is the hope. If music has the power to enslave, then it also has the power to set free. If melodies can chain the soul, then melodies filled with the Spirit of God can break those chains. When you turn your ears from the noise of corruption and fill your life with songs of truth, you are not just changing your playlist. You are changing your atmosphere, your mind, your desires, your destiny. For when the voice of God becomes the melody of your soul, sin loses its grip, temptation loses its sweetness, and your heart burns again with purity and fire. Therefore, I call you to take a stand. Do not walk out of this moment thinking this is just about music. This is about allegiance. Whose voice will you follow? Whose rhythm will you allow to guide your steps? Whose song will you let shape your heart? God does not ask for half of your devotion. He asks for all. And if you will silence the melody of the enemy and lift your soul to the melody of God, you will rise above the deception that has enslaved millions. You will walk in freedom, in purity, in power, and you will stand before God unashamed, knowing you did not bow to the noise of this world. Then let the fire rise higher. Let these words cut deeper. For truth must pierce through the fog of deception until hearts are awakened to the reality of what is at stake. Do not think lightly of the power of sound. From the very beginning, God designed creation with sound as its foundation. He spoke, and the heavens and earth came into being. He uttered, and light broke through darkness. The universe itself was born from his voice. If sound carries such power in the hands of God, do you think Satan would not try to counterfeit it? He understands that what enters the ear shapes the heart, and what shapes the heart directs the soul. This is why he has filled the earth with melodies that do not honor God, but exalt man, glorify sin, and celebrate rebellion. He is not after your entertainment. He is after your eternity. And yet, millions walk into his snare blind, saying, it's just music, it's just fun, it's not that serious. But do you not see that this is exactly how deception works? The enemy cloaks danger in innocence, dresses poison in sweetness, and hides chains inside of what feels harmless. The melody is his bait, and the soul is his prize. And while you dance, while you sing, while you laugh, he is binding your spirit, dulling your sensitivity to God, and slowly draining your passion for truth. Consider this. Why do you think it is so hard for some to focus in prayer, but so easy to memorize entire albums of songs that glorify sin? Why do you think it is a battle to sit with the Word of God for 15 minutes, but effortless to listen to worldly music for hours without boredom? It is because one voice feeds the spirit and the other feeds the flesh. And whichever one you feed, the most becomes the master of your life. You cannot give more time, more devotion, and more repetition to the songs of darkness and still expect to burn with the fire of God. It is impossible. And here lies the tragedy. Many are trying to live a double life. They lift their hands to God while their ears are still tuned to the melody of the enemy. They want the blessing of heaven while still dancing to the rhythms of hell. But God will not compete with another voice. He is a jealous God, demanding your whole heart, not a portion of it. He will not pour his anointing into a vessel filled with compromise. And so, many remain dry, stagnant, frustrated in their walk. Not because God is unwilling to bless, but because they have allowed another melody to occupy the place that belongs only to Him. This is why the call is urgent. You cannot afford to be casual in this battle. Your ears are gates. Your heart is soil. Your soul is eternal. And what you allow in will determine what grows within you. If you want purity, fill yourself with what is pure. If you want holiness, fill yourself with what is holy. If you want the presence of God, fill your atmosphere with sounds that draw Him near. For the melody you choose today will echo in your destiny tomorrow. Think also of the generations to come. The melody you embrace is the melody your children will inherit. If you saturate your home with rhythms that glorify sin, you are not just entertaining yourself. You are laying a foundation of compromise for those who come after you. The enemy does not just seek to capture individuals. He seeks to capture bloodlines. He knows that if he can weave his melody into your family, it will echo for generations. But the opposite is also true if you fill your home with the sound of God's truth. If you create an atmosphere where His presence is welcomed, you are building a legacy of faith that will outlive you. So the question stands before you: what legacy will your melody leave? Will it leave echoes of rebellion or songs of righteousness? Will it leave chains of compromise? or a heritage of holiness? Will it leave confusion in the hearts of your children or clarity in their pursuit of God? Do not wait until it is too late to answer this question. Decide now which voice you will allow to define your home, your heart, and your destiny. And let me remind you, the melody of God is not always loud or glamorous by the world's standards. It may not attract the masses. It may not trend on the platforms of this age, but it carries life. It carries peace. It carries strength. It carries the presence of God that no worldly sound can imitate. When you choose His melody, you choose alignment with His power. And when His power fills you, no deception can enslave you, no distraction can consume you, and no temptation can destroy you. Therefore, I urge you with all the weight of my spirit, cleanse your ears, cleanse your atmosphere, cleanse your heart. Cut off the melodies that chain you to sin and fill your life with the sound of truth. Do not hesitate, do not compromise, do not delay. Every moment you delay, another chain is forged. But every moment you act, another chain is broken. This is not about music alone. It is about devotion. It is about allegiance. It is about the eternal question, will you belong wholly to God? Or will you let the enemy write the soundtrack of your life? My beloved, this is the moment of truth. You cannot walk away from these words unchanged. For the melody you choose to live by will either draw you closer to God or cast you further into the grip of the enemy. This is not about taste. This is not about preference. This is not about culture. It is about eternity. The sound you allow to shape your heart will shape your destiny. And when you stand before God, you will not be able to say, it was just music. No, you will have to answer for every voice you entertained, for every rhythm you allowed into your spirit, for every song you exalted above His presence. The time has come to make a decision. Will you continue to sing along with the world while your soul drifts further from God? Or will you rise with courage and silence every melody that does not honor Him? Will you keep feeding the flesh while starving your spirit? Or will you cleanse your ears, your home, your atmosphere, and fill it with the sound of holiness, purity, and truth? Will you compromise with the noise of this age? Or will you stand boldly as one who belongs to God alone? This is not a small choice. It is the choice of your life. For when you cut off the voice of the enemy, you make space for the voice of God. When you silence the melody of deception, you will begin to hear the whispers of His guidance, the rhythm of His peace, the song of His strength. And when His melody becomes your melody, no power of darkness can enslave you. You will walk in freedom, you will live in purity, and you will shine as a light in a generation that has been drowned in noise. So I challenge you today, dare to be different. Dare to silence what the world celebrates. Dare to reject what your flesh craves. Dare to live as one who values the voice of God above every other sound. Tear down the altars of false melodies in your life and build an altar where only His presence is welcome. Guard your ears like treasure. Guard your heart like a fortress. And guard your soul like a crown that must not be stolen. And when the day comes when you stand before God, may you stand unashamed, with a life that testifies, I did not bow to the melody of the enemy. I kept my song pure. I kept my devotion whole. I chose the voice of God above all. That, my friend, is the victory worth living for. That is the destiny worth fighting for. That is the legacy worth leaving behind. So choose today while you still have breath. Choose your melody, for in that choice, you choose your eternity. Do you know that the objects you allow into your home can open invisible doors to darkness? Listen carefully, because what I am about to tell you is not a suggestion. It is a warning, a revelation, a spiritual alarm sounding in your ears. Many people cry out and ask, why is there no peace in my home? Why do I feel restless, attacked, oppressed, or heavy inside my own house? The answer is often not outside, it is inside. It is in the very items you have chosen to place under your roof. You think they are harmless decorations, harmless entertainment, harmless symbols, but the unseen world recognizes them as invitations. What you see as simple, God sees as gateways. What you dismiss as nothing, the demonic forces see as an open door. And until you recognize it, remove it, and cleanse your home, you will wonder why the atmosphere feels suffocating, why blessings seem blocked, and why confusion reigns. I tell you with the authority of conviction, your home must be a dwelling place of God, not a storage house for darkness. God desires to fill your home with peace, joy, and light, but many people unknowingly fill their homes with idols, charms, symbols, and objects that attract demons. Do not be deceived. A home is not neutral. Every object carries a spiritual weight. Every design, every symbol, every artifact has a voice in the spirit realm. Some speak life, others speak death. Some welcome God's presence, others invite demonic influence. That is why you must be ruthless in discerning what belongs in your home and what must be removed immediately. When you walk into a room, you can feel it. Have you not noticed? Some rooms are filled with peace, others with heaviness. Some homes feel refreshing, others oppressive. That is not imagination. That is spiritual reality. The items inside the house have a voice, and the demons recognize their own. They gather around what belongs to them. A charm is not just a charm. A statue is not just a statue. A symbol is not just art. If it was designed for rituals, if it was created with evil intentions, if it represents rebellion against God, it carries a spirit. And when you bring it into your house, you are signing a contract with the invisible. You are saying, I permit this presence here. Beloved, do not let your home be a cage for your own torment. Do not let your children grow up under a roof filled with silent agreements to darkness. Do not let your marriage, your finances, your health be suffocated because of an object you thought was harmless. God cannot dwell where idols dwell. Light and darkness cannot mix. You cannot expect the blessing of God while you are hosting the symbols of demons. Remove them now. Do not wait for tomorrow. Do not wait for a convenient time. The moment you know, the moment you hear this word, is the moment you are accountable. How many times have you felt that your prayers are hindered? How many times have you felt like your mind is clouded, your peace stolen, your sleep disturbed by nightmares and shadows? And yet, you continue to live surrounded by objects that grieve God's Spirit and attract forces of darkness. Do you not see the connection? You cannot burn incense to demons and then ask God to fill your house with His presence. You cannot bow in front of idols, even unknowingly, and then expect the blessing of heaven to rest on your walls. God is not mocked. What you tolerate becomes the very chain that binds you. When you allow demonic items into your home, you are declaring to the unseen world, this space belongs to you. And once the claim is made, demons do not leave willingly. They will torment, confuse, steal, and destroy. They will make your children rebellious. They will choke your finances. They will suffocate your joy. They will make the air of your house heavy until you wonder why living feels like surviving. And yet the answer is so simple. Remove what does not belong. Tear down what does not honor God. Throw away what carries the mark of rebellion. Understand this deeply. Not everything you buy is innocent. Not everything you receive as a gift is harmless. There are objects that have been dedicated to darkness long before they reached your hands. There are clothes, jewelry, paintings, charms, and artifacts that have been soaked in rituals, curses, and spells. To you, they are just accessories or decor. To the demonic world, they are magnets. When you keep them, you are saying yes to their presence. That is why God warned from the beginning, do not bring abominable things into your house, lest you become cursed like them. What God calls detestable must not be tolerated. Beloved, look around your home with spiritual eyes. Examine your shelves, your wardrobes, your walls. Ask yourself, does this honor God? Or does this open a door to demons? That artwork with hidden symbols, that idol statue brought back from a trip, that charm worn for luck, that occult book, that film collection glorifying violence, witchcraft, or immorality. These are not harmless entertainment. These are tools of infiltration. Demons cannot walk in freely without permission, but they will cling to any object that represents their domain. Some of you wonder why your children wake up at night screaming in fear. You wonder why arguments break out in your marriage for no reason. You wonder why money seems to flow in but disappear like water through your hands. You wonder why depression and heaviness cloud your family. And all the while, in your living room sits an idol. On your wall hangs a symbol of darkness. In your drawer lies a charm you think brings protection. Do you not see? The very thing you trust to protect you is the thing that is destroying you. Only God protects. Only God shields. Every other protection is counterfeit. Do not think that demons are passive. They are not guests, they are conquerors. Once invited, they will spread. They will claim rooms, objects, people. They will create division, accidents, sickness. And you will pray, but the prayers will feel empty because you have not removed what contradicts God's presence. Prayer without obedience is powerless. If you truly desire freedom, you must not only pray, but also cleanse. Do not just ask God to fight for you while you are holding on to the enemy's weapon inside your own house. The time has come to choose. Will your home belong fully to God, or will it remain a playground for demons? You cannot mix both. You cannot decorate with darkness and then light candles of prayer expecting peace. You must cleanse your house physically and spiritually. Take every object that carries darkness and destroy it. Do not sell it. Do not give it away. Burn it, break it, throw it out. Do not transfer the curse to another. Remove it completely. Let your house be a sanctuary, not a battlefield. The moment you remove those items, you will feel it. The atmosphere will shift. The heaviness will lift. Peace will return. God's presence will flood your home. Your children will sleep without fear. Your mind will think clearly. Your finances will stabilize. Your marriage will breathe again. Because where God dwells, no demon can remain. Where the light shines, the darkness must flee. But you must take the first step. You must choose to honor God above all else, even above sentimental attachments, traditions, or cultural excuses. Do not underestimate this. The enemy thrives on your ignorance. He hides behind the excuse of culture, art, or tradition. He whispers, "It is harmless. It is just decoration. It means nothing." But to him, it means everything. To him, it is a throne. It is legal ground. And as long as he has legal ground, he will not leave. But when you remove it, when you shut the door, when you cleanse your home in the name of God, his hold is broken. Look around your life. Look with new eyes. Do not delay. If you feel the conviction burning inside you, right now it is God speaking. He is warning you because he desires to protect you. He is revealing this truth because he wants to dwell with you. But he will not share his dwelling with idols. He will not compete with demons. You must choose. You must act. And you must act now. There are homes that shine with light because they are filled with the presence of God. And there are homes suffocated with shadows because they are filled with the residue of evil. Do not be deceived by appearances. Beautiful furniture, expensive decorations, elegant design mean nothing if the foundation is polluted. A house without God becomes a shell, a cage, a trap where spirits of confusion and torment reside. But a house surrendered to God becomes a fortress, a sanctuary, a dwelling place of peace where demons cannot enter. And the difference is often hidden in the very objects you will allow under your roof. I must tell you with urgency, demons are legalists. They look for rights, for agreements, for openings. They cannot enter without ground. But when you bring into your home an object that has been dedicated to rebellion against God, you give them ground. A carved idol is not just art, it is a throne. A charm is not just jewelry, it is a covenant. An image glorifying darkness is not just decoration, it is an altar. When you place these things in your house, you are unknowingly building altars to demons. And altars always attract sacrifice. Sacrifice of your peace, sacrifice of your health, sacrifice of your joy. Have you noticed how some objects seem to carry an aura of heaviness? A painting that unsettles you when you walk past it. A mask from a foreign culture that seems to stare with unseen eyes. A book that glorifies forbidden power. A symbol that appears innocent, yet carries roots in witchcraft or false religion. These are not accidents. The spirit world is real, and it does not hide its fingerprints. If you are sensitive, you can feel it. If you are discerning, you can recognize it. And if you are wise, you will not tolerate it. Beloved, God has always warned his people not to bring cursed things into their homes. He commanded the destruction of idols, the breaking of false images, the burning of forbidden scrolls. Why? because he knows that even one object can corrupt the whole atmosphere. He knows that what you keep in your possession has power over you. He knows that demons do not need your full devotion, just your ignorance. And through ignorance, they gain access. Through carelessness, they find a foothold. Through tolerance, they build a stronghold. Ask yourself this: what is the value of holding on to a decoration, a book, a piece of jewelry, if it costs you the blessing of God? What is the use of displaying art on your wall if it brings torment to your children? What is the purpose of keeping a gift from a loved one if it carries a curse into your household? Do not let sentiment blind you. Do not let tradition enslave you. Do not let culture deceive you. There is no object worth the peace of God. There is no tradition worth the protection of God. There is no culture worth the presence of God. And I say this with love, but with fire. Some of you are praying for miracles while sitting in rooms filled with idols. Some of you are fasting for breakthrough while your shelves hold books that glorify witchcraft. Some of you are asking God to bless your finances while your walls are decorated with symbols that exalt greed and lust. Do you not see the contradiction? You cannot ask God for blessing while hosting His enemies. You cannot welcome His presence while entertaining what grieves Him. God is holy, and He will not share His dwelling with demons. You must walk through your home with spiritual authority. You must examine each corner, each drawer, each shelf, and declare, this house belongs to God alone. Every object must be weighed against that standard. Does it honor God? Or does it dishonor Him? Does it bring light? Or does it bring shadow? Does it glorify purity? Or does it glorify sin? If it is the latter, remove it without hesitation. Do not justify it. Do not reason with it. Do not keep it for memory's sake. Remove it, for your life is worth more than an object. Consider also the power of words that rest in your home. Books, music, films, and even clothing carry messages. Words of hatred, immorality, rebellion, or pride are not entertainment. They are seeds. Seeds that demons water. Seeds that grow into confusion and destruction. Some of you have filled your homes with entertainment that mocks holiness, and then wonder why your children no longer respect God. Some of you listen daily to songs that glorify lust and violence, and then wonder why your heart feels restless. You cannot feed on poison and expect health. You cannot surround yourself with darkness and expect light. The items in your home speak louder than you realize. Even gifts must be examined. Not every gift is a blessing. Some are traps. A piece of jewelry given with wrong intentions, a souvenir tied to a ritual, an inherited object from ancestors who bowed to idols. All of these can carry spiritual weight. Do not keep something just because it came from someone you love. Love them, yes, but discern the object. If it carries rebellion against God, it must go. Family attachment cannot protect you from spiritual consequences. And what about clothing? Do you think clothing is neutral? No. Symbols printed on shirts, designs inspired by rebellion, fashion rooted in immorality, all of these carry a spirit. Some clothes glorify pride. Some glorify violence. Some glorify false gods. When you wear them, you are not just making a fashion choice. You are making a spiritual declaration. When you store them in your closet, you are keeping agreement with what they represent. Beloved, cleanse not only your shelves and your walls, but also your wardrobe. Let everything that touches your body honor God. There are also hidden objects. Crystals said to carry energy. Charms claim to bring luck. Dream catchers said to filter spirits. Incense burned for cleansing apart from God. These are not harmless. These are pagan tools repackaged for modern use. They promise protection, but they bring bondage. They claim to give peace, but they invite torment. Only God protects. Only God gives peace. Everything else is counterfeit, designed to lead you away from trusting Him. Remove them without hesitation. And let me tell you, when you begin this cleansing, the enemy will resist. He will whisper lies in your mind. This is silly. This is unnecessary. This is too extreme. But do not listen. It is not extreme to guard your soul. It is not extreme to protect your children. It is not extreme to honor God. What is extreme is allowing demons to feast in your living room while you pretend it is nothing. What is extreme is sacrificing peace for the sake of decoration. What is extreme is allowing curses to remain because you fear looking foolish. Do not fear men. Fear God. When you take action, when you walk through your house with authority and remove what does not belong, you are declaring war in the spirit realm. You are telling the demons, no more. This house belongs to God, and they will have no choice but to leave. The air will change. The oppression will lift. And the peace of God will enter like fresh wind. Let us go even deeper. Let these words carry weight, as though fire is poured into your soul, as though God Himself is pulling back the curtain so you can see what truly wages war against your peace. Beloved, hear this truth. Darkness hides in the ordinary until the light of God exposes it. Demons do not walk into your house waving flags. They enter silently through what you tolerate. They are subtle, cunning, and patient. They will wait inside that souvenir you bought abroad, that ornament passed down from generations, that symbol you thought was innocent. And as long as it remains, they will whisper, they will oppress, they will poison the very air of your home. But the moment you expose them, the moment you remove their anchor, the moment you declare your house belongs to God, their grip is shattered. Do not forget that your home is more than walls and furniture. It is a sanctuary. The home is where your children are shaped, where your marriage is tested, where your prayers rise like incense to God. If the sanctuary is polluted, how can the prayers ascend? If idols are hidden in the corners, how can peace rest upon the rooms? God does not dwell where His holiness is mocked. He does not fill a place where idols are honored. He does not share His throne. If you desire God's presence to flood your home, then every rival must be cast out. There are people who cry, "Why is my life stuck? Why do blessings seem to bypass me? Why do I labor but see no fruit?" Look no further than your own house. Look no further than your possessions. Look no further than the silent agreements you have made through the things you refuse to remove. When Israel carried idols, the entire nation suffered defeat. When a single cursed object was hidden in the camp, blessings were withheld. Do you think God has changed? His holiness is eternal. His standards do not bend to convenience. If He required purity then, He requires purity now. Think about the mirrors of your life. What do they reflect? Are they mirrors of vanity, designed to magnify pride and self-obsession? Or are they reminders of God's creation, teaching gratitude and humility? Even simple objects can carry meaning. A picture, a quote, an image on your wall, it either lifts your thoughts toward God or pulls them toward the world. You must guard not only your heart, but also your atmosphere, because the atmosphere of your home shapes the spirit of everyone inside. There is a reason God commanded His people to write His words on their doorposts, to keep His truth on the walls of their homes. He knows what you look at daily shapes your soul. If your walls speak darkness, how will your spirit walk in light? If your shelves carry rebellion, how will your prayers carry power? If your children grow up surrounded by symbols of evil, how will they learn reverence for God? What you normalize in your home becomes what your children believe is acceptable before God. Do not raise your children in an environment that teaches them to live at peace with demons. Raise them in an environment that teaches them to fear God, honor Him, and reject all that offends Him. And let me tell you, demons are not impressed by how much you pray. If you refuse to remove their property, you can pray night and day, fast until your body is weak. But as long as idols remain, the legal ground stands. You cannot outpray disobedience. You must act. God blesses not empty words, but obedient hearts. When you remove the cursed items, you are not just cleaning your house. You are declaring your loyalty. You are saying, God, this house is yours and yours alone. That act of obedience speaks louder than 1,000 empty prayers. Let us consider music. Some of you may think music is harmless, but sound shapes atmosphere. Words sung over your home, even softly, are like seeds planted in soil. If you fill your rooms with lyrics of rebellion, lust, violence, or pride, you are watering seeds of destruction. You cannot invite demons through sound and then complain when your peace is stolen. Music is either a weapon for God's presence or a doorway for darkness. Fill your home with words that glorify God. Let your walls vibrate with purity, not pollution. And what about entertainment? How many of you have allowed films and shows that glorify witchcraft, murder, immorality, or greed to dominate your home? You may say, it's only fiction. But in the unseen world, it is permission. The images on your screen are offerings to your spirit. If you sit and consume what exalts demons, you are agreeing with them. The screen becomes an altar, and the altar demands a price. No wonder so many feel restless, anxious, and bound after hours of such entertainment. It is not neutral. It is infiltration. Even technology can be a doorway if not surrendered to God. Devices filled with immoral content, hidden files, secret addictions. These are not just personal struggles. They are open gates for demonic influence. Cleanse your devices as you would cleanse your house. Dedicate them to God. Remove every file, every picture, every song, every link that dishonors Him. Do not hide sin in your phone while expecting peace in your home. God sees. The demons see. And until you purge it, the torment remains. Some of you feel a stirring inside even as you listen to these words. That stirring is conviction. That is God pressing on your heart. exposing what you already know you must remove. Do not harden your heart. Do not dismiss it. The longer you delay, the deeper the grip becomes. Demons will not leave willingly. They will fight to remain. They will whisper, "Don't throw this away, it's valuable. Don't remove this, it's part of your culture. Don't let go, it has sentimental worth. But hear me, no object is worth your peace. No symbol is worth your freedom. No decoration is worth losing the blessing of God." I must remind you that demons feed on compromise. They thrive when you say, "It's not a big deal." They grow stronger when you say, "Everyone else has it." They laugh when you say, "I'll deal with it later." But when you rise up with the authority of God and declare, "Not in my house," they tremble. They cannot resist when you obey God with boldness. Obedience cuts their lifeline. Purity destroys their grip. Truth silences their lies. And let us go further. It is not only about what you remove, but also about what you bring in. When you cleanse your home, do not leave it empty. Fill it with the presence of God. Fill it with His word spoken aloud, written on the walls, sung in songs. Place reminders of His greatness where your eyes can see daily. Let your children see symbols of faith, words of wisdom, reminders of God's power. Let your table become an altar of gratitude. Let your rooms become places of prayer. Let your atmosphere be so saturated with God that demons cannot stand to enter. Remember this truth: your home is the first battlefield, the first altar, the first temple. If you cannot guard your home, how will you guard your life? If you cannot cleanse your house, how will you carry authority in the world? Start where you live. Start with what you see every day. Start with what you own. Let your home be so full of God that even before people speak to you, they feel peace when they step through your door. Let your house preach louder than your words. Beloved, the time for hesitation is over. You have heard the truth, and truth demands response. Do not walk back into your home the same way you left it. Do not live another day tolerating the very things that rob you of God's peace. Look around you with new eyes. See what you once ignored. Discern what you once excused. That object in the corner, that symbol on the wall, that item hidden in a drawer, they are not just things, they are claims. They are contracts in the spirit. And as long as they remain, the enemy holds a place in your life. But hear this with all the power of conviction. You are not helpless. God has given you authority. God has given you strength. God has given you the right to declare. This house belongs to Him and Him alone. When you act in obedience, when you rise up in courage, when you throw out what does not honor Him, chains will break. Darkness will flee. Peace will return. Do not underestimate what happens when you align fully with God. Heaven moves on behalf of the obedient. The decision is yours. You can cling to things or you can cling to God. You can hold to objects that carry darkness, or you can open the doors for light. What matters more to you? Sentimental value or spiritual freedom? What matters more? Cultural habits or divine presence? What matters more? Keeping a decoration or welcoming the blessing of God? Choose wisely, for your choice will echo not only in your life, but in your family, your children, and generations to come. Now I challenge you, Go back to your home today and do not delay. Take a walk through every room. Open every drawer. Scan every wall. Ask yourself, does this honor God? Does this carry light or darkness? And whatever you find that grieves His Spirit, remove it without hesitation. Break it, burn it, throw it out. Do not let it remain. Make your home a holy ground where only God is welcomed. Make it a sanctuary where peace reigns, where prayers flow unhindered, where the presence of God rests like a covering. And when you have done this, lift your hands in your own home and declare aloud, this house belongs to God. No demon has place here. No darkness has claim here. This is a dwelling of light, a sanctuary of peace, a fortress of truth. Speak it until your walls echo with faith. Declare it until your heart trembles with conviction. Live it until every visitor who enters feels the peace of God radiating from within. You are called to live free. You are called to walk in light. You are called to be a vessel of purity. Do not live beneath that calling because of objects that were never worthy of you. Rise higher. Choose boldly. Stand firmly. And let your home, your family, and your very life testify to the world that when God is enthroned, no demon can remain, no curse can linger, no darkness can prevail. Now go with courage in your heart, with obedience in your hands, and with fire in your spirit. Cleanse your home, honor your God, and watch as His presence fills your life with peace no darkness can steal.